We're diving deep into a family drama involving Tesehki, Chrisean Rock, and her baby, Christian Jr. The tea here isn't just juicy. It's serious, real-life stuff with allegations that touch on health, parenting, and a family's messy past. So grab your tea, settle in, and let's unpack everything you need to know about this complicated situation. So, here's the setup. Tesehki has recently come forward with some heavy accusations against Chrisean Rock, and these claims aren't just about typical online beef. They're about Chrisean's behavior during her pregnancy and the lasting impact it allegedly had on their son. Chrisean Jr. Tesehki is saying that while Chrisean was pregnant, she was out partying, drinking alcohol, and smoking, behaviors that many people agree are dangerous for an unborn child. Tesehki insists that this reckless lifestyle has resulted in Chrisean Jr. facing serious developmental problems right now, including an inability to sit up or walk without assistance. A photo even surfaced showing Chrisean holding her son up because he couldn't maintain his own posture. Reports have also emerged that the baby has a painful hernia that, despite surgery, continues to cause complications. This isn't just speculation. It's a deeply concerning situation involving a vulnerable child and a family in crisis. Now, this all has the internet divided. Some people are siding with Tesehki, saying that she's telling a hard truth that needs to be said, that Chrisean's lifestyle choices during pregnancy were irresponsible and now her son is paying the price. One social media user bluntly said, "Why are people shocked that Chrisean's son could possibly be special needs? She was smoking while pregnant, and Zeus even filmed her doing it. She wasn't ready to be a mom, and now the baby is suffering. I only feel sorry for the child, not for her." Comments like this show how raw and emotional this story is for many followers. On the flip side, others feel that this is a messy family fight being played out in public, and they caution against jumping to conclusions without all the facts. But regardless of where you stand, it's clear that baby Chrisean Jr. is at the center of a very real, very painful situation. What makes this situation even more complicated is Chrisean Rock's response, or lack thereof. With all these serious accusations swirling, you'd expect her to come out and clear her name, or at least address the concerns for her son's sake, right? Well, so far, she's remained mostly silent on the matter. Instead of publicly addressing the allegations, Chrisean has taken to social media to insist that her son is blessed. She's been emphasizing that her baby is a blessing, a message that some interpret as her way of coping or protecting her family from negative scrutiny. But many viewers find this stance confusing, especially considering the reports about Chrisean Jr.'s health. How do you reconcile celebrating a blessing with acknowledging a child's ongoing medical and developmental struggles? To many people, it seems like denial, a refusal to confront a difficult reality. And when people online see this, they often react with frustration, wondering if Chrisean is avoiding accountability or masking guilt. Then Tesehki dropped another bombshell, one that added a whole new layer to this tangled story. She claimed that Chrisean never actually wanted to keep the baby in the first place. According to Tesehki, Chrisean was considering abortion, but ultimately decided to carry the pregnancy to term for one reason: rapper Blueface. The suggestion here is that Chrisean's motivation was less about embracing motherhood and more about keeping Blueface tied to her life. Tesehki says that the pregnancy was a strategic move to hold onto him, not a choice made out of readiness or desire to be a mom. And now, according to Tesehki, Blueface has distanced himself and doesn't want anything to do with the child. This part of the story really stirred the pot on social media, where people expressed outrage and disappointment, not just at Chrisean, but at Blueface too. One tweet summed it up perfectly: Chrisean never wanted to be a mom. She was just trying to stay tied to Blueface. That baby was never part of her plan. For many, that revelation turned what was already a painful family drama into a public scandal. Beyond the accusations and drama, there's a very human story here that shouldn't be overlooked: the story of a child caught in the middle of adult conflicts. Baby Chrisean Jr. is reportedly struggling with developmental challenges and health issues, and that child deserves care, love, and proper medical attention. Unfortunately, it seems like he might not be getting everything he needs right now. According to sources, a woman named Janet, who used to be close to Chrisean, tried to step in out of genuine concern. Janet reportedly offered to help by connecting Chrisean Jr. with specialists who work with children facing developmental challenges. Her cousin, who works closely with autistic children and other kids with special needs, was willing to provide hands-on support. But Chrisean allegedly rejected all offers of help, insisting that nothing was wrong with her son and shutting Janet down. However, From the moment Junior was born, many people hoped that motherhood would be a transformative experience for Chrisean, bringing out the best in her and inspiring her to prioritize her child's well-being. Unfortunately, early on, there were signs that things might not be going as hoped. Fans and viewers who followed Chrisean noticed troubling behaviors and expressed concern that Junior was not receiving the nurturing care expected from a mother. These concerns were based on observations shared on social media, live streams, and videos where Chrisean's interactions with Junior seemed indifferent or inconsistent with the typical attentiveness a newborn requires. This growing unease among fans eventually led to a more in-depth scrutiny of Junior's condition, fueled further by the shocking leak of Junior's medical records, which painted an even more worrying picture of his health and the challenges he faces. One of the most devastating discoveries revealed through the leaked medical documents is that Junior suffers from fetal alcohol syndrome, FAS. This condition, caused by exposure to alcohol during pregnancy, can result in lifelong developmental challenges, including physical abnormalities, cognitive impairments, and behavioral issues. Disturbingly, evidence has emerged, including video footage that has circulated widely online, showing Chrisean drinking alcohol while she was pregnant, even in the face of pleas from family members and friends to stop. In these clips, Chrisean dismisses concerns and even shockingly states that she could terminate the pregnancy at any time, reflecting a troubling disregard for the health of her unborn child. Fetal alcohol syndrome alone can severely affect a child's development, but in Junior's case, his struggles do not end there. Further medical reports confirm that Junior is also dealing with neonatal abstinence syndrome, NAS, a condition caused by withdrawal symptoms from drugs he was exposed to in the womb. Blueface, Junior's father, has publicly accused Chrisean of abusing cocaine during her pregnancy, accusations that she has reportedly admitted to. NAS can cause a variety of severe health problems in newborns, including tremors, feeding difficulties, respiratory issues, and neurological complications. This dual diagnosis of FAS and NAS indicates that Junior was exposed to multiple harmful substances before birth, setting a very challenging foundation for his early development. Medical professionals who have reviewed Junior's condition have recommended that he be evaluated by a range of specialists. These include neurologists, orthopedists, cardiologists, gastroenterologists, ophthalmologists, pulmonologists, and palliative care experts. This extensive list suggests that Junior's health problems are complex and multifaceted, going far beyond the effects of fetal alcohol syndrome and neonatal abstinence syndrome. Among the documented medical concerns are cortical visual impairment, spasticity, and seizure disorders. The visual impairment, in particular, has alarmed many observers. Fans note that Junior rarely moves his eyes or reaches out for objects like other children his age typically do. Instead, he often appears to stare blankly into space, a behavior that signals serious neurological and developmental challenges. While every child develops at their own pace, these symptoms have understandably heightened the worry surrounding Junior's overall well-being. Adding to the medical concerns are deeply troubling reports about Chrisean's parenting. Allegations of neglect have surfaced, painting a distressing picture of how Junior is cared for on a daily basis. In one particularly disturbing incident during a Twitch live stream, Chrisean reportedly asked several Twitch employees, strangers to Junior, to take the infant and put him in a car so she could continue a phone conversation with Blueface. Video footage and eyewitness accounts indicate that Junior was left alone in the car on a hot day while Chrisean laughed and carried on the conversation, ignoring the child's cries and distress. This incident sparked outrage among viewers, who saw it as a blatant example of neglect and a severe lack of parental responsibility. Many felt that this behavior exemplified a disregard not only for Junior's comfort, but also for his basic safety. Blueface himself has been vocal and persistent in raising awareness about Junior's difficult situation. He has publicly accused Chrisean of neglecting Junior's medical needs and refusing necessary treatments. For instance, Blueface claimed that Chrisean refused to get surgery for Junior's hernia, a procedure the child urgently needed. He expressed frustration and anger on social media, accusing Chrisean of lying about Junior's health status and ignoring the severity of the child's condition. At one point, in a highly controversial and unsettling move, Blueface shared a photo of Junior's private parts to provide evidence of the untreated hernia. While many found this action inappropriate and disturbing, it also underscored the desperation and complexity of the situation, revealing just how dire Junior's medical neglect seemed to be. Despite Blueface's own complicated and sometimes contentious relationship with Chrisean and Junior, his repeated calls for intervention have helped draw public attention to the severity of the child's health and care issues. The situation is further complicated by revelations that Chrisean did not receive adequate prenatal care during her pregnancy. Medical tests conducted just before Junior's birth showed that Chrisean had opioids, cocaine, and other harmful substances in her system. The absence of prenatal care, combined with ongoing substance abuse during pregnancy, likely contributed significantly to Junior's numerous health challenges. Without prenatal monitoring and intervention, conditions that might have been addressed earlier went undetected, resulting in severe consequences for Junior's development and survival. Adding yet another layer to this tragic narrative is Chrisean's family background. Her mother, Charlotte, has reportedly struggled with addiction and has been working towards recovery. Chrisean has publicly expressed support for her mother's efforts to get clean, but there are growing concerns that Chrisean herself is following a similarly destructive path. This intergenerational cycle of addiction and neglect makes it even more difficult for Junior to receive the stable, loving care he desperately needs. These leaked medical records, videos, and social media posts have led many to question Chrisean's fitness as a mother. There is a growing public concern that Junior may be suffering from abuse or severe neglect behind closed doors. Some viewers who have watched Chrisean's live streams and social media interactions with Junior have noted disturbing reactions from the child, particularly when Chrisean handles him in certain ways, fueling suspicions of mistreatment. While no official abuse allegations have been confirmed, the mere possibility has intensified the worry among fans, friends, and child welfare advocates. These concerns highlight the urgent need for intervention to protect Junior's safety and health. Despite the mounting evidence and public criticism, Chrisean has consistently defended herself. She has insisted that Junior is doing well and is meeting important developmental milestones such as walking and talking. In her statements, she has pushed back against what she calls unfair judgment from outsiders, arguing that no one outside her family has the right to criticize her parenting or question Junior's health. Chrisean's defenders claim that every child develops differently and that negative speculation is harmful and unfounded. However, many medical experts, fans, and concerned parties remain skeptical, pointing to the extensive medical records and troubling behavior patterns as proof that Junior needs urgent medical and social intervention. This heartbreaking case sheds light on the devastating consequences of substance abuse during pregnancy, as well as the immense challenges of caring for a child with complex and multiple medical needs. It also exposes how addiction and neglect can deeply affect families, creating cycles that are difficult to break without help. Junior's story is a sobering reminder of how vulnerable children can be when those responsible for their care struggle with their own battles. As this situation continues to unfold, many are hoping that Chrisean will seek and receive the support she needs, not just as a parent, but as a person, to provide Junior with the loving, attentive care he desperately requires. At the same time, it is critical that Junior receives comprehensive medical treatment and protection to address his health issues and safeguard his future. This rejection raised more questions among fans and followers. Why deny that your child needs help? Why refuse the care and resources available? Many people believe that denial is keeping the situation from improving, and that's a hard reality to face. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of this whole story is how faith and denial seem to be intertwined. Janet said that while faith is important, it must be accompanied by action. Having faith alone isn't enough. You have to put in the work. That means seeking medical attention, accepting support, and acknowledging the challenges your child faces. It's not about losing hope. It's about being proactive and doing everything possible to help your child thrive. But when someone is in denial, it becomes almost impossible to help them. They refuse to acknowledge the reality in front of them. In this case, Chrisean appears to be caught in this place, and is leaving her son's future uncertain and people around her frustrated and concerned. It's also worth noting the past drama between these women. Years ago, Chrisean accused Tesehki of assault, a claim that already complicated their relationship and made the public wary about trusting either side fully. That incident added fuel to a fire that's been burning under this family's story for a while. Now, with these latest revelations, it feels like the family is spiraling into deeper conflict, and unfortunately, the child is at the center. So, what's the takeaway here? Tesehki is accusing Chrisean Rock of irresponsible behavior during pregnancy that's allegedly caused serious health problems for their son. Christian denies these claims and insists her son is blessed, but rejects offers for help. There's also the explosive claim that Christian didn't want to have the baby but kept it for the sake of her relationship with Blueface, who now apparently wants nothing to do with the child. Social media is divided, with some sympathizing with the baby and others criticizing Christian for negligence and hypocrisy. The situation raises big questions about accountability, parenting, and the consequences of actions during pregnancy. It also shines a spotlight on how complicated family dynamics can be when trauma, denial, and public scrutiny collide. I want to hear from you. What do you think about all this? Is Tesehki telling the truth? Should Christian come clean and get help for her son? How should Blueface respond? Most importantly, how do we as a community support children like Christian Jr., who find themselves caught in the middle of these messy situations? Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments because this is a conversation worth having. Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone that no matter what side you're on, a child's health and well-being should always be the priority. This story is a reminder that parenting comes with serious responsibilities and that actions have real consequences. It's painful to watch, but it's also a call to action to support vulnerable kids and hold adults accountable in a compassionate way. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe and take care of each other out there.